for Bowen Yang to abuse the platform of SNL and call me by name Mark Robinson's search history? Because I am not. 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 It does not reflect my reality in the slightest and is incredibly abusive. It directly harmed my relationship to self, and it made me experience extreme PTSD and anxiety. Bowen Yang abused the platform of Saturday Night Live to call me by name, Mark Robinson's search history, like he wants me to play a villain. I am a victim of targeted abuse by the stage of Saturday Night Live, and there is no peace in my daily life because I have no representation or way to be heard in the light. I am so hurt by the dangers of a society that refuses to listen and embrace a perspective of wholeness and oneness. I do not take this abuse of platform lightly because his politicization and moralistic desire to control my personality was erasure of my humanity. Everything that he called me is deeply reflected in himself through his actions. I am a woman and was born a woman. I will die a woman, and I am so sick of getting sexually abused by men and hurt by people with internalized homophobia in a world ruled by misogynists. Why couldn't you just leave me alone? What about my existence triggered you to use such spiteful hatred on the stage that is supposed to represent our nation? It was an act of terrorism. How am I supposed to heal from this when I have no one to believe me? I am so damaged, and you made it so much worse. That was so sick of you, and I am so angry at your hostility and abuse. Bowen Yang is a man gatekeeping my relationship to my personal humanity. I am a woman, and I was born a woman. Mark Robinson is hostile to women, transgender humans, and the queer community. I am a human deserving of respect in my body. Essentially, Bowen Yang called me reactionary, misogynistic, sexually repressed or hypocritical, politically toxic, unsafe to engage with. Well, reactionary is believing a feeling is a reality. Misogynistic is men pretending to own womanhood. Sexually repressed or hypocritical is believing that your gender is dictated by your sexuality, and not genus or birth. Unsafe to engage with. Men who will die saying that they were born women are unsafe to engage with. We do not live in a planet with universal equality. You want to call me the goddamn problem to my fucking birth? You want to tell me that I don't exist and I cannot freely exist in my body without being used as a political weapon on the stage of Saturday Night Live? Oh, go fuck yourself, Bowen. Fuck your fucking goddamn motherfucking self, you fucking pig. Reactionary. I am a woman and I was born with a vagina. I lost my liberty to perform comedy because energetically I feel as though there is no safe space in the world for my voice to exist organically anymore. I am a social comedian and always have been. I am being oppressed in my body, and my liberties were bought by gay men who have commodified womanhood to appease their egos. It is not a vulnerability and will never be a vulnerability to be born a man and call yourself a woman. It is hurtful, and I am so hurt. I am setting that boundary as an owner of a vagina. That means goddamn woman. That means woman. Get that through your head. Get that through your head right now. Shut up, Bowen. Shut your brain off and listen to me. I am a woman. I was born with a vagina. You abuse the platform of NBC SNL to call me by name what? Mark Robinson's search history. Do you know how offensive that is? Do you know how dehumanizing that is? Do you know how deeply that makes me ache as someone who is intelligent? I am brilliant. I am incredibly intelligent, incredibly brilliant, and I have spent my life getting sexually abused by men just like you. You think gayness makes you, free of misogyny? No, it doesn't. It makes you a potential perpetrator of it because you have no understanding or compassion for the way that women suffer more than any man in the United States ever will. No man is hurt by this like women are. No man is actually getting hurt when I say, actually, you know what? Womanhood means being born with a vagina. But do you know how bad it hurts me that I have to just say this? I have to say this every fucking day until you get it through your fucking idiotic brain. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you fucking idiot. Bowen, it actually does mean something when you are born some way. And so when people are constantly trying to push me out of my fucking body, push me out of the safety of my home, and call me things that I am not through an extreme abusive platform like I'm the problem, no, you're the fucking incel abusing the platform of NBC SNL to call a nobody by name Mark Robinson's search history like it wouldn't fucking erase them, like it wouldn't hurt them. Because you're good? Because you're moralistically a good person? When you're gatekeeping someone's sexuality and someone's identity on the stage of NBC SNL? Have you ever heard a woman speak like this? Maybe not. But hey, here's the thing, diversity matters. Stop putting me in a goddamn cage. Stop taking my entire personality and putting it in a cage and being like, yeah, you know what? I actually suffer way more than you because of this. What you are is you're an insecure, fragile man who deserves to have his ego fucking shattered. You weren't even that great on Saturday Night Live. You actually are a terrible comedian overall, I would say. And here's the thing, it's because you're not doing what comedians are meant to do. Comedians actually do this thing, Bowen Yang, called liberation. What they do is they do not put people in their cages to meet their egos. They do not make people feel lesser than them on the platform of NBC SNL. They do not torture souls. What you do is you torture this nation through acts of terrorism. And if that's not true, why are you calling a nobody by name Mark Robinson's search history on the platform of NBC SNL? I am hurt. I am psychologically damaged. All women are. From men taking ownership of our bodies. This was a goddamn crime, by the way. Our society began to choose degeneracy over heart. The word origin of degeneracy is moving away from birth. The word origin of gender is genus, also known as birth. I will die on this hill. In doing so, it is doing complete and irreplaceable harm to our society to validate the fact that people believe erasing your gender makes you safer in your body. You can exist and present yourself however is right in your natural born gender, but you can never erase that. You can never take away your genus, because women have certain stories that encase them, that men never will have, that men will never know, that men can never own. And what you did is you enslaved me. You enslaved me to the goddamn belief that I am the problem, that I am so bad for wanting freedom in my gender, in my sexuality, that I want to move in fluidity however that I can. And you made it out like I'm objectifying women when you're actually getting on the stage of Saturday Night Live and objectifying me to the goddamn core, because you're saying Nat or Brat. Like I have to choose and I cannot be myself? Okay. But I'm not Brat because what? Because I look other in my body as a woman. Because I'm different. Because I'm other. You ostracized me in my own goddamn gender and made it look like I'm the one objectifying women when you're just a gay fucking man taking my goddamn sexuality, my goddamn gender out of my fucking pussy and raping me on the stage of Saturday fucking Night Live. And you think I wouldn't be upset? You think I wouldn't speak back in anger? Bowen, this is fucking insane and it could have goddamn killed me. Will you listen to that? Will you understand that? Because you know exactly what you did. You and Sarah Sherman know exactly what you did. You abused the platform of Saturday Night Live to call a nobody by name Mark Robinson's search history for nothing but your own vanity, because you were annoyed at seeing someone online, because you're a celebrity and you can't handle the fact that people are gonna have reactions to other people in this world, and that's just what happens. That's just what happens when you exist. So let me react however the fuck I want to react. I can make 9.8 million posts and it would still never be enough. You erased my birth through a psychologically damaging concept which has amassed in years in my life of cataclysmic damage. The actions of this cult are actually rooted in the systemic oppression and ownership of women's bodies, with the illusion that owning womanhood makes you sexually liberated, with the illusion that women that want to feel sexually liberated have to look like men in order to kiss their wives. Don't tell me that's not true. Don't tell me that's not the truth. You are an abuser. I do not want men to keep this up. So what? I'm the most hateful person in the world because I want everyone to be safe and at home in their bodies again. I want my nation safe. I want people at peace in their bodies. And that's never going to come from this perspective that it's a vulnerability to buy my space, to buy my right to live at liberty in my vagina, in my home. You will never know womanhood. If you are born with a penis, you will never know womanhood. That's not a problem to say. That's not offensive to say. That's not a crime to say. It's just the truth. Because we don't have universal equality. We don't even have equality in the United States. People still believe that women are lesser than men, which is so crazy to me because women literally push people out. We bring people into this world, then we're dehumanized on the stage of Saturday Night Live by a man who will never be sexually invested in them because all men are misogynistic pigs unless they overcome their ego and understand that everyone on this earth just wants to exist freely in an equal light without the erasure of their identities. So Bowen Yang, you will never understand how deeply that hurt me. You will never understand what that did to my humanity. You are an abusive loser with no self-esteem because you are retarded enough to be privileged enough to be on SNL and use the platform to sexually abuse a stranger. I used to want to be an entertainer. I used to want to be on Saturday Night Live. Now I just want to be free of this rape that took place on a stage that I wanted to take part on, and I need that stage to take accountability for the true harm that their former cast member intentionally did through deep transformation, and I want to empower women to be safe in their bodies again. We must acknowledge that if you were born with a penis, you will always be a man. The end.